Alright guys, so about 4 to 5 years ago I sent in cards to CGC to get graded. It was my whole entire base set, jungle set, and fossil set from the WoTC era. I already know these grades. It was 4 to 5 years ago. I'm not going to try to act surprised, but I'll try to, show them to you guys in that way, where you guys can kind of guess along with it. But overall, I will not be sending to CGC again. I know this is like one of their very first submissions that they taken in when they started, but they were supposed to be grading with AI, and I do not see it. I'm sorry. The consistency on the centering is really bad. You'll see in this submission that some cards with a 9.5 centering are worse centering than some of the cards with an 8.5 centering. It doesn't make any sense to me. They half-assed this during the boom in like 2019 when PSA and BGS was all backed up. And I just read recently that the 9.5s that I do have can be sent back in to be graded into a 10, which is kind of bullshit because they're only supposed to be half a grade higher than the lowest grade in the subgrades, which does not make sense at all. So we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna try to make it quick per card. Here we got not a whole lot of whitening, very minor nicks. We got the Polyrath, beautiful card, nice holo, and we got the 9. Next up, little white dot there, top right. It's not bad. Alright, we got the Nidoking. Beautiful card, decent centering, little bottom heavy. And we got the 9 with the 9.5 centering. Alright, we got this guy. A lot of whitening down here at the bottom. One big nick. A little nick there. A little nick right there. We got the Magneton from base set. Beautiful card. And we got the 8.5. Alright. Next up, a little bit of white in there. Good centering. Got the Clefairy. Nice holo. Decent centering. Definitely off. And we got the 9. Next up. A little white there. Got the Gyarados. And we got the 9. The Raichu. Decent centering. The 9. I put the black in the background so it'd be a little easier to see the whitening here. The Ninetales. It's just not an error Ninetales, normal Ninetales. Definitely like top heavy, left heavy. Got the 8.5 centering with a 9. Little bottom and left heavy. White there. Got the Alakazam. Beautiful card. Love Alakazam. Good centering. We got the 9.5 with the 9 with the 9. Chansey. This is a kind of a fan favorite from the set, along with, like, you know, the big three. A lot of people love Chansey. Decent centering, I would say. Next up, pretty clean card. The Zapdos. We got the 9.5. Alright, next stack. A lot of whitening down there at the bottom. This is definitely played, it seems. We got the Ditto from Fossil. Got the 6.5. Yeah, that deserves the 6.5. Okay, decent centering. Whitening, that's normal. Got the Haunter from Fossil. Got the 9. Definitely left heavy here. Even a little top heavy. White dot there. The first edition Magneton from Fossil. That's a nice card. And we got the 9. Lapras from Fossil. Clean card. And we got the 9 with the 8.5 centering. This is kind of what I'm talking about here. That's kind of a first example. Kangaskhan. See, that's good centering. We got the 9. Next up, we got a lot of whitening on pretty much every corner here. Machamp. Okay, I sent this one in because of the ink dot at the top. There's a lot of Machamps with this ink dot, so I'm surprised it's not actually prevalent in the set. Like, it doesn't say ink dot error on it, which is really unfortunate, because it's commonly found. It's not like a one-off. I see the centering on this is pretty bad. This is probably like an 8, 8.5. Quite a bit of whitening. We got the Aerodactyl from Fossil. Nice card. And we got the 9 centering. Next up, decent centering. Little white dot there. Little white dot there. We got the Kabuto from the Top Deck magazine, the W stamped promo. And we got the 9. Now, I'm going to be real. I don't believe this white dot was here when I sent that in. The top one for sure was, but I don't believe the bottom one was. I got the Hitmonlee from Fossil. A little bit of surface damage there. Not much. Let me get to 9. Hitmonchan. This card was used a lot in play, like in the actual card game. So getting a 10 in this is kind of hard. We got the 8.5. With the 8.5 centering. Alright, next up. Definitely some white here. Wigglytuff. Hard one to get into 10. All the colorless from this set are pretty hard to get in a 10. And we got the 9. Jolteon. Nice, beautiful card from Jungle. And we get the 9. Okay. This one's not horrible. Definitely a little bit of whitening there. We got the Snorlax. Another colorless. Nearman 8. Unfortunate. Now the centering on this is way off. Whitening. We got the Pinsir. Even on the front, the centering's pretty far off. We got a 9 for the Pinsir. A bit of white in that corner. Clefable. And we get the 9 with the 9.5 centering. Definitely some white in the corners here. Got the Vaporeon. I see some hollow scratches. Definitely not a mint card by any means. Good though. Yep, near mint 8. And then I have 2 cards that are not from this set, but still really nice cards. Got the Suicune from Secret Wonders, the reverse holo. Got that in a 9 from 2007. And then we have the Lugia from Secret Wonders, also a reverse holo. Centering's pretty far off here, like noticeable. And it's got the 8 with the 8.5 centering. So we are going to put those right there. Next stack. Next juicy stack. Alright, let's see. A little bit of whitening there. A little bit of whitening there. Decent centering. We got the Dragonite from Fossil. And this got the 8.5. Surface is an 8. I don't see why Surface is an 8. It's cleaner than a lot of the other cards, to be honest. But it is what it is. There's a reason they don't do subgrades anymore. Because of how inconsistent they are. Got the 8. I mean, this one's pretty dirty. A lot of whitening. Oh, yep, the birds. Yeah, the birds I sent in are not good. But they're mine from my childhood, so they get graded. None of these are for sale. All my personal. So I don't mind. Pretty sure all 3 of the birds are pretty brutal in terms of grades. 6.5 surface. Okay. I feel like that's fair. The birds are pretty beat up. This one's not horrible. The Zapdos. Pretty good centering, actually. Bottom heavy, but other than that, that's a 7.5. Woo! Alright. Next up, some whitening there at the top. We got the Scyther. In the 8. With a 9.5 centering. This one's pretty nice. There's definitely some whitening. Unfortunately. But this is the Pikachu E3 from Nintendo Power. And we got the 8. Which was really unfortunate because I really like this card. It's not even a holo or anything. Sucks. But I understand. Next up, got a little bit of white in there. Very good centering. Gengar. And this is an 8.5 with a 9 centering. Like that's what I don't understand. Like, look at the centering on that. CGC. First edition Fossil Kabutops. Love this card. Got an 8.5. Alright, now the time everybody's been waiting for. The big 3. Let's see here. A little white dot there. A little white dot there. This is actually a pretty big white dot. The centering is pretty brutal. We got the Blastoise from base set. Front centering, also pretty brutal. Very heavy on the right. And we got the 8 for the Blastoise with the 8.5 centering. Okay. Good centering. A little bottom heavy, I would say. We got the Venusaur from base. Good centering. A little left heavy here. And we got the 9 on the Venusaur with the 9 centering. Last but not least, the Charizard. Better centering than the Blastoise. Still a little off here on the back though. We got a little white dot there. Big white dot here. And we got the Charizard. Good centering. Maybe 9.5, I would say. 9 if you count in the back. With like the little top heavy here. But an 8.5. Okay. Good Charizard. Alright. And that's that. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe.